Hello, everyone. So how are we doing this morning? Good? Good. I like it. This time I did not put my headphones in thinking I was going to. Hello, everyone. Ooh, that's me. So we got a couple people out there, which is great. Thank you guys so much for coming out. And yeah, if you guys have like a Google Plus account or a Google account or something, I'm not quite sure what you need to do it. Feel free always to actually send me your email so I can log you in just like we do with the movie chats, and I'll be able to see your face, you'll be able to see mine. That way, in the future, if you have very specific questions about your hair, then I can answer it. Wow, we've got 8 viewers? That seems... Oh, I made this public, didn't I? Well, that's okay. We're just going to go ahead and do this as a public. Usually these are Patreon. These are one of the Patreon only videos where I stream while doing my hair and answering specific questions, but this will be kind of a taste for you guys that aren't on the Patreon. You can see what it is that we kind of do over on Patreon. So, yay! So we will make my mistake a good thing, right? All right. So what we are doing today is a brush out and a style of this. And what I ended up doing is using hot rollers, which I haven't done a hot roller in a extremely long time. So one thing that I found is you can see some of the rollers are starting to fall out because the clips that I have, I couldn't find all the right clips for the rollers, so they're falling out. So I've got like a bunch of like, well, hello, hopefully Homesteader and Monica, thank you guys so much for coming out. Yeah, so I've got a bunch of these clips that don't actually fit. So there's a bunch of like hacks in here to keep the rollers actually in my hair. And I've been like walking around like this so they don't fall out. So yeah, that's been a real comfortable morning. So what I've done is my standard kind of roll set is everything up here is rolled back. Everything here is rolled down. For hot rollers, I only use small and mediums. I actually bought 2 different look how awesome. Oh, thank you very much, Jennifer. Yeah, good karma for my good deed. Excellent. I like it. So yeah, I buy 2. Yeah, I have watery eyes too. See, this is what you guys miss when you get edited videos. You don't see all the craziness. Oh, and I have a new kitty. So don't be surprised if you see a cat running around in the background and hear weird things, because I'm upstairs because that's what it is. So anyway, all smalls and mediums. I buy 2 separate when they're on sale, which with the holidays coming up, you should be able to get some pretty good deals. And as with all my rollers, I unwind them instead of pull them out. Hi, Pinup Chelly. Yvette, will I be doing more sewing videos? Yes, I will. Sewing videos take a little bit longer to film the process, so that's why they haven't come up lately. I'll be having some coming up next month that are like sewing tips while I get the series kind of filmed. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Dalen. Yay! Well, thank you so much. Oh my God, watch out. Hey, I know this is a hair video, says Miss Cadbury Bubble, but where do you get your glasses? Zenny Optical. These come, I have these in white and in the red. This is... This is the red, even though it looks more coral, which I love. I actually saw them on somebody in person, and I absolutely loved them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have never bought them off the site because I was like, I don't want red glasses. There's some creature trying to eat your head. Ha 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 ha. It is Dalen. Good. Yay. So, okay. And I will tell you, the two different rollers that I'm using are these. This is Bayless and this is a Revlon. I will tell you guys, I absolutely hate these rollers. They hurt. They are extremely hot. And I just don't like them. These I like. They are they have a velvet on them, so they're a little bit easier on the hair. I like it very much. Thank you. Kill it before it lays eggs. Okay. Oh, one moment, please. All right. So, all right. So, yeah. So I am taking all of this out. So yeah, if you guys have any questions about rolling or styling or any of that, please let me know as we go. And Pisulik, I think you're Titin, I'm guessing from the Netherlands, perhaps? Oh, this caught my hair. I hate that. See, these things are evil, but it's what I had. So, yeah. Just continue to unroll. As you can see, the mediums are going to give a little less volume. I didn't put any type of setting lotion in my hair. Not really sure. Oh, guys, I really wish I do not speak. When do you travel? Do you wet set? Oh, okay. That's all right. That's an interesting day in the comments. Let's just say that. When Yvette Small has a question, when I travel, do you wet set each night or do I use some other method? When I travel, I do a foam roller set right before I leave. That way I can get a style out of it every day while I'm traveling. But typically I bring my foam rollers with me and I bring a curling iron. Just because sometimes, because I get less sleep sometimes when I'm traveling, the foam rollers will sometimes not set perfectly or it won't dry completely and I might have a hair or two that just doesn't want to roll. It is easier to travel with pin curl clips and do pin curls because they're just smaller to put into your suitcase. But that's just a lot of work for me when I'm on vacation. So foam rollers it is, and I try to get away with one set for if it's a shorter trip, the whole trip. But always bring an alternate way of being able to get curls in your hair, like that morning, whether it's hot rollers, which is a pain in the butt to try to travel with, just because they're so big and bulky. Which is why I like a curling iron. Miss Beltane, do I have any advice to make curls stay in very long hair? That's a hard one. It has to do with, and I'm going to put some hairspray in my hair while we're talking. It has to do with if you have any layers in your hair. If you have layers in your hair, it's going to be a little bit easier. Even if your hair is extremely long, just some long layers, it's going to be easier to keep the curls in the hair because hair weighs. It has weight to it. And the longer your hair is, the heavier the hair is. So when you put a curl in, the curl, really, as you can see a lot of it with the hot roller set, the curls fall to the bottom. So if you have really extremely long hair, a lot of that curl is going to fall to the bottom of your hair, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but you're not going to get as much of that curl up around your face if that's what you're looking for. So I would suggest for long hair, definitely wet sets. Wet sets are probably going to be your best friend, just because, number one, it takes a really long time to use a heat set to roll your hair and then style. It makes it a little bit easier with wet sets. If you can, put a few layers in your hair. It's going to be your best bet there. Miss Cadbury Bubble says, I can't remember if you've done, can't remember if you've done a video on it already. Page boy setting and brush out. I have not done one. I've done kind of a faux page boy, but not like the traditional page boy, which I probably, just because it, for my face, it just, I haven't found a good way of doing it that looks good. So maybe I just need to get on that and experiment so we can do one. I did find the one that I do like the best is actually Lisa Fremont Street has one that I do like fairly well. Oh, good Lord. Oh my God. So apparently I have to apologize for those of you in the comments. I wish I had a moderator, but yeah, I don't know why there's so many white supremacists out on live streams today. But yeah, that's a thing is even annoying. Let's see. I hope that helps though with the long hair. What hairspray am I using? I am using Freeze It, which is actually one that JL told me about. It is a no animal testing drugstore hairspray that is relatively cheap. And it says extreme hold hairspray. Oh, it's extreme hold. It's almost too extreme. It's not my favorite just because it gets real crunchy on the hair. Sorry, I realized I left my brush in my purse the other day. I really like Kenra's hairspray, but it's a little pricey on the wallet. Who's your my biggest classic movie crush? I have to think about that. Biggest? I've had quite a few of them. Classic movie crush. Honestly, it's probably it's probably got to be Gene Kelly or Fred Astaire. There's something about those boys that can dance that I love. All right, so I am just brushing the curl to the bottom of my hair and brushing it around my hand. Because this is a heat set, I'm going to treat the hair a little bit more delicately than I do when I do foam roller brush outs, just because with my hair, heat sets don't last as long. So I have to be careful that I'm not completely brushing out the curl. But as you can see, it gives it a much nicer, looser curl, so you don't have to fight so hard sometimes to get it to do what you're looking for. Oh, yay, I'm glad it helped. Oh, yay. Oh, Cassie, it will, you know what? I'm going to leave it up so you guys can actually see it. So I know this was supposed to be Patreon only. What the heck? All right. Another travel question from Yvette is, I travel with petticoats. Is there an easy way to pack them? Yes. I wear my petticoats, at least either one or two of them when I am traveling. If I'm traveling on a plane and I need to worry about space in my luggage, that way I can fit more of them on than I would normally be able to. But space saver bags. I don't recommend space saver bags for everything in your suitcase. Yes, you can pack more, but if you have a big suitcase, it will put you over limit on your suitcase. So that is something to think about. But yeah, space saver bags, because it will make them easily fit in your suitcase, and you can get a bunch of them. Ooh, somebody didn't like that item. I blocked them. Is there any vintage styles that you recommend for long hair? I would look to something that like Veronica Lake does, as far as, and that's gonna again help if you have those long layers in your hair, you'll be able to get that kind of like long swoop into your hair like she does. And if you have bangs, you can do like a really cute Betty Page look. And then you can also do a lot of updos, because a lot of the updos in the 40s and 50s actually used fake hair in them. Well, if you've got really extremely long hair, you don't need to use the fake hair. So a lot of these great updos, poodle hairstyles are great for really long hair. It was a victory roll. Even victory rolls can be done on really, really long hair as well. It takes some practice just because with the rolling and everything. But yeah, those are some good styles. Yes, girl, good choices. Mine is Frederick March and Gene Kelly. Ooh, Frederick March. We're gonna do some research on him. All right. So here's just the brush out, really, you guys. And quite honestly, you could probably just go out and be like, hey, here's my hair for the day. I just really don't like a flat crown on my head. I like a little more volume up here, which is why I am going to do some back combing. But for those of you that don't like back combing, you can see just by doing a nice brush out, you can get a style that is easy to do throughout the day. And it's really, in some ways, brush and goes. Ooh. I feel like I have comic book hair now. All right, so I'm just going to section. I know you guys are like, oh, we know what she's going to do now. She does it in every hair tutorial video. And I feel like I do. I am just sectioning off the hair into very thin sections and back combing. Here's a little tip. If you want just a little bit of volume on the top of your hair, you can take a little bit thicker sections of hair to back comb. But if you have trouble getting that volume in your hair, make those sections as thin as possible, like wafer thin before you back comb. And if you have that problem of all your layers like separating and it doesn't look like one cohesive group of hair, when you section that next layer, take the layer before it and back comb, because it will marry the two pieces together. If you have trouble with back combing staying in your hair, spritz between every little layer of hair. But since my hair is a few days into, since it's been washed, I got a hair in my eye. It keeps back combing pretty well. Frederick March was I Married a Witch with Veronica Lake and Inspired Bewitch. And hey, if you're doing that thing with your hair every time, it means it works. True. I have not seen I Married a Witch. I need to put that on my list. I need to put that on my list. Maybe for the next movie club, we should do a Veronica Lake movie, because I feel like we haven't done one for her. Thank you, Miss Golden Girls. I am finally getting used to the turquoise hair, and it is really growing on me, though I do still feel like I'm cheating on pink. And that pink is somewhere just crying in a corner because, you know, I left it for turquoise hair. Give everything a spritz before you go to smooth it out. All right. Oh, good Lord, hairs in my eyes. Hopefully homesteader. How about if you have too much volume, like of a really thick hair, and because I live in Florida, it likes to floof out every time I try to do something with it. Wax-based pomade and a really, really hard hold hairspray is going to help maintain that poof. When you're styling it as well, make sure you're using clips to kind of like clip it in and get it to that style that you like, and then pomade it, hairspray the heck out of it, because that will keep it from growing. And you want to make sure that you're hairspraying underneath as well, because even if the outside layer is nice and hairsprayed, the inside can still poof out, and then it'll start to grow from the inside, like one of those what was those things you would stick in water and watch it just expand. Yvette Small, thank you for, oh, thank you very much. You made it to New York. You made it to New Orleans going complete vintage. I love that. Yay! You're amazing, Yvette. Dolan says, aside from your lovely skirt brand, what are your favorite fashion brands to support? Buy from? I'm a big Vixen by Micheline Pitt fan. Also, when's your next nerdy skirt print series coming out? I've never bought from Micheline, but I really do like her stuff. I have some friends that have bought some of her stuff, and I love the quality and versatility of Micheline's stuff, so I would highly recommend it. And I'm just taking my teasing brush and smoothing the outside of the hair. Again, we do this every time, but, and then because it is a heat set as well, it's real important to hold on to the curve up at the top, the height at the top, so we don't comb it out. I also really, really, really freaking adore Pretty Lanes. I know I featured them in my last Viva video, and there are more Viva videos to come out, and you will see Pretty Lanes again in a Viva video, because her stuff is just amazing. It's all handmade. It's made to order, so it's going to fit you. Yes, it is pricey, but it is completely worth it. So if you want one of those, like, you know, once in a lifetime dresses, I can't recommend her enough. And I have looked, because I love looking at the inside of pieces. I love really looking. I'm sorry, I've got something in my eye. Really looking at stuff, and her stuff is top notch. I also really, really enjoy Di Brooks of Outer Limits. Her stuff is really great, as well as one of my favorites, Fables by Barry. Queen, yes. Her stuff is just flat out, hands down, amazing. The next, Vetter V Lovely, Go Lovely. Oh, Vet girl. I don't know how to say that. But I love you as well, and I'm glad you enjoy the videos. What is my next nerdy skirt series coming out? Well, you can always, if you've got a nerdy skirt that you want to see made, you can always email me to get a custom skirt made, because I will tell you this, my custom skirts are very, very reasonable, if I do say so myself. I'm just putting a clip in my hair right there. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I haven't planned anything for my hair today. Just going to see what it did. The next skirt coming out, I don't know if necessarily is nerdy. It does have a nerdy element to it. And I might have to say it's slightly Firefly related. Again, I know I've already done Persephone's Saloon and Into the Black, which was both Firefly related, but this is another one that's kind of related into that universe with the, at least to me. Other people might not know it, but if you know Firefly, you would. So I don't know. I kind of want to do something Harry Potter-ish in the future. I've done some custom skirts that are Harry Potter, which is the Marauders map. Thank you. I feel like you should try purple hair next. Kind of like blend the pink into. Ooh. It's a lot of upkeep though, having two tones. I don't know how Heather does it. Bless that girl, because she has got some mad hair color and skills with a Z. Yes, I'm showing my age. This is why I don't hot roller very much, very much. This is why I don't hot roller very much. All right, so now that everything is kind of smoothed out a little bit, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do right here because I feel like it's a little plain. But maybe I'll be a plain Jane today. I'm going to take a little bit of my Lady Luck smoothing serum. I know this thing looks terrible. It is spilled on itself. It has been loved and used. But a lot of people will ask me, like, you know, you color, you bleach your hair, and it still looks so incredibly shiny. What's your secret? And I'll actually probably be doing a video in the future, but that is one of my secrets, is a good like Moroccan argan oil, because the ends of your hair, especially when being bleached, are going to dry out because you're not, that oil from your scalp doesn't necessarily get all the way down to the ends, and we've gone and bleached the ends of our hair. And for my Florida friend, a smoothing serum will help as well. And you know, but I will say that smoothing serum is going to help when you're styling. I don't really see it, and if you carried it in your purse, it could help throughout the day as well. But its weight is not going to carry all day long. But it is something that you could try as well. And here's the thing too, if you try a pomade and it doesn't do what you want it to do, try another pomade. There is a ton out there with a bunch of different formulas. A pomade that works for me is probably not going to work for everybody that's out there. In fact, Suavecito, which I know is a favorite pomade for a lot of ladies out there, weighs down my hair horribly, and I can't use it. Not to say I don't like their products, because I do. I've seen their products work really great. And for people, and for my Florida friend, Suavecito would be a good pomade to have because it has that weight to it, and it is going to really help control a lot of that volume that builds up over the day. Or some days, just embrace that volume, you know what I'm saying? Any more Doctor Who? Any more Doctor Who skirts? Maybe. I mean, that would probably have to happen at some point too, right? Just got to figure out what type of Doctor Who skirt I would do. I kind of want to get into making my own fabrics, but it's just so gosh darn expensive that because I do such limited runs, because I'm a one-woman show and I'm financing everything, you know, there's no loans behind all Atomic Starlet. It is all 100% the blood, sweat, and tears. And now that my hair is tucked behind my ear, I'm just going to place in one of these little shorty shorts to keep that hair back there. Thoughts about doing another sew along? Yes, absolutely. And it might end up being a collaboration with somebody as well. So I'm not quite sure, but yes, there is a sew along coming along. It will be a shorter one. But again, it is, right now I'm testing the pattern, testing it, and then starting the filming process. So like I said earlier, the sewing videos are coming. They just take a lot longer to get out and get done because I have to film everything, and the sewing process is a lot longer. But once we get that ball rolling, you'll see them a lot more frequently. So yeah, I'm really, really excited to be back on a more normal schedule. Oh, my eyeball. How can I dye my hair pale pastel pink? Go to your favorite stylist and have them bleach your hair. Even if you don't have them do the color, have them take you to a white, or as close to white as you want to get. For the healthier hair, I would, if your hair is black, naturally black, It might take a while to lift. If your hair has a lot of red into it, it might take a while to lift that color, which is why even though I bleach my own hair at this point, I do always recommend when I first went colored hair, I went to my stylist and I had her lift all my hair color out, because you really, that is the most important part. That is where you can really, really damage your hair. It's not, you know, bleaching out the roots and continuing your coloring. It is a lot of times that overall bleaching can really, really damage your hair, which is why I always suggest if the first time you're doing it, go to your colorist, go to your stylist, have them do it for you. If you guys are in this area, message me. If you're in the Illinois, Northwestern Illinois, Chicago area, email me. I have 2 incredibly good stylists that could take you to wherever you wanted to go. But I cannot recommend that enough, especially the first time going. Oh, Horror Beauty FX, hi. Starting and running on your own buzz is hard, man. Yeah, it's so hard. You guys have made it a lot easier, though, getting the word out. So I always appreciate that. Have you ever gotten stuff from Voodoo Vixen in the UK? I have. I do have, I did have 2 dresses from them. Unfortunately, I grew out of them and I ended up selling them. But yes, I do. I really, really like their prints. Their prints are really cute. I do find that Voodoo Vixen has, I think, some stuff that you don't find at other brands, because sometimes it feels like some of the brands are just repeating themselves, which I feel like, you know, is going to happen in the retro style. You know, nothing wrong with that. I do have to say as well, I love Oblong Box Shop for their prints. I don't necessarily like some of the fabrics they work in, because I am very tactile, and I don't necessarily like the feel of polyester, but I will tell you, polyester is going to keep that color and those prints really, really stable for a long, long time. And their prints are so incredibly cute. All right. So I'm just making sure to spray the underside of my hair as well. You missed my tea time. I did one just on body positivity not too long ago. That was a hard one to make, but I'm glad I made it. And thank you guys to everybody who commented, who reached out. I'm incredibly grateful for you guys. You made it a lot easier. For those of you wondering, I am still climbing that ladder, but I'm climbing that ladder, so that's good. And I think it's important that people realize too, like, even though you're going through stuff and that you can be suffering from depression, you can have good days and you can smile and laugh, and you know, that's part of that process of climbing out. But you know, don't ever think that somebody is completely out of that just because they seem to be okay. Sometimes, you know, it just takes one little thing to push you right back down that ladder, but it is a journey. Okay, but this isn't about that. So, any favorite vintage reproduction company? Yes, Atomic Starlet. No, but seriously, if it's not my own brand, my favorite would probably be, and I'm saying this and I don't even own anything of hers, but I'm going to say it again, Pretty Lanes. Pretty Lanes, Pretty Lanes, Pretty Lanes. One day. How do I bring my retro style to my everyday look? I wear scrubs to work every day, and I feel like I'm starting to lose my identity. Samantha, I wear scrubs to work as well. I am currently working at a vet hospital, and it is. Self-positivity is hard. It's the hair. Some days I work so early that I don't even do my hair before I go in, but I will wear a little scarf in my hair. I'll wear a flower in my hair. I'll put my hair up. I'll do a poodle do, any of that. So even though, you know, I'm not dressing the way I would want to every day, but I couldn't wear what I wear to work. So doing the hair still makes you kind of feel like you've got that, you're there. Also, I would say, you know, depending on where you work, you could wear maybe a scrub top that is made from a retro print. Maybe that's what we need to do, a video on how to make your own scrub top so that you can look all cute and retro-y, right? All right. All right, the final thing is, I don't know what I want to do with this. I don't like that piece of hair. Do I use vintage reproduction cosmetics like, oh wait, Yvette, so how often do I wash my hair? Once to twice a week. I know, sounds weird, but I do. And your hair gets used to it. Actually, it will adjust. It's not actually good to wash your hair every day. You'll strip the good oils from your hair. So at least be washing your hair every other day, if not a little less frequently, as at that would even be better. Do I use vintage reproduction cosmetics like Besame? I do have some of their stuff, but not really. Red lipstick isn't the best on me, and Besame has a lot of reds. The reds are good. I don't know. Some of their lipsticks I do find a little bit drying. So I like the look of obviously vintage, and I want to have the same feel as vintage, but I don't necessarily need the exact same formula as vintage, which is actually why, and I will say this little footnote on here, she is a very dear friend of mine, but which is why I go with Bomber Betty Cosmetics. She has, not only can she create custom lip blends, but her stuff is incredibly long wearing. It's highly pigmented, and it's super moisturizing. Even her matte, she's released matte formulas, and they don't have that. If you guys have ever tried like Max or Ruby Woo, which I don't anymore because they're not cruelty free anymore, but which Bomber Betty is, and I believe Besame is as well. But they just like, or desert on your lips. It's like you have to prep your lips and put all this stuff on your lips to actually wear their lipsticks, and I hate that. And Bomber Betty's, you can wear without all that prep. Just a little bit of lip liner, you're good to go. So, well, I don't know if I'll ever put it in the Atomic Starlet line, but not to say that once I have my own scrub top pattern done, you know, if a viewer were to reach out to me and ask me to create them a custom top, I would probably do that. I don't know, guys. Should I roll this little roll up and put it up here and be like that today, or should I just let it down? I don't know. What should I do with that? I feel you there. I'm a dog groomer, so it's hard to make any sense of style because you have a dress code, and I'm always trying to have my hair look decent, at least wear a flower or something in it. Yes, please. I can wear a scrub top too. Yeah, so scrub tops, I think, and your hair, and even like wearing really cute earrings or something like that, or having a cute jacket or cardigan to put on when you're like running errands when you're not working. Can be really cute as well. Ruby Woo is so drying. It's so drying. I know, right? All right, guys. All right, we need to make a decision about that part of our hair. So what type of color lipstick are you wearing? I am wearing a Bomber Betty. How cute is she? And it is bomberbettycosmetics.com, and it is a custom blend she created for me called Blow On It. There's a whole story behind that, but I don't want to get demonetized. But it is this gorgeous pink. This is just her regular formula. This isn't the matte formula, though she has done a matte for me in this as well. And she actually, I have found this, speaking of, this is all going from from a hair thing to whatever, but I found on eBay this, or Etsy, one of those sites, a vintage lipstick tube, because I was looking for a vintage lipstick tube so Jessica could make me That's her name. Bomber Betty is actually Jessica. So she could make me my lipstick and put it in the vintage thing, which I thought would be super fun. And she does do that too. So if you guys have vintage lipstick tubes and you want her to make, you just have to send her the tube and tell her what lipstick from her line that you want, and she will actually put it in. There's a little bit of an upcharge to do that just because of the size, I think, of it. But if you're interested, just email her. There was some lipstick left in there, and it was like a 1945. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but I can't. But it was like a 1945 lipsticks, and she recreated it for me. And it's this beautiful like red berry, raspberry color. Yeah, so that was great. I just love you. I love you too, a vintage librarian. Pin it up, pin it up, pin it up. Okay, great. I will. That would make my year. Yay. Pin it. Okay. The votes are in. You're pinning that little one. But you can already see how like relaxed the curl is starting to get in my hair, which is annoying. Which just reminds me why I haven't done, what is this called? Hot roller sets in a long time. Take my bobby pin, and I just pin like that little tiny section of hair right there, and then I try to like dig into the hair itself to push it in, because you're not going to hide it completely, but hopefully hides a lot of the pin itself. And this sounds kind of weird, but sometimes I pull on it too, because sometimes when you pin like that, it can like flatten it right to your head and it looks weird. All right, so there we go. All right, there we goes. I like that little curl. Okay, so that is our style. That is our Q&A. Thank you guys so much for coming out. This was so much fun. Your hair hates holding a curl. Foam rollers or pin curls. Play with them. And if the foam rollers are too big, go smaller. There is a way to get your hair to like curls. We just got to figure out what it is. What kind of sewing machine do I use? I use a Viking Husqvarna Opal 690Q, and I also use a Viking Serger as well, and I can't think of what the model is on that. The title says Patreon. I know, Hannah. This was supposed to be a Patreon only a video, and I released it publicly and decided to just roll with it. And so you guys could get a glimpse of the videos that are released on the Patreon page. This is typically a video that is for the foam roller tier. The foam roller tier is foam rollers, but it is once a month I do a live stream, and people that are on that tier, if they were here, they could actually choose to send in their email address and actually log in so I could see them. So it would be a great way monthly to actually have me see your hair, me see you try to do your hair, and actually try to help you solve some of the problems that you have with your hair. So yeah, so that's what happened there. I love you too, Cindy. That would be amazing because of the same color my grandma would always wear, like a red bear. Yeah, yeah. So if you still have a little bit, she has a color like that on her line now called American Beauty. So if you really like that red raspberry color, I would highly suggest checking that out. And it is a matte. I'll leave her link in the description below. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So all right, guys. So that is it. That is our hairstyle for the day. Very simple, very easy, not a lot of fuss and muss. And thank you guys so much for coming out. If you are interested in becoming a Patreon supporter and seeing videos like this, there is a link in the description box below. So you just have to go and click on that. My levels start from $1 a month, and you get live stream tea times with that and a bunch of other fun things, all the way up to $45 a month, where you actually get a monthly accessory sent right to your front door every month, made by these hands right here. La, la, la. All right. So, thank you guys. Yeah, happy accident. It was a happy accident. This was fun. I'm so glad everybody came out. All right, guys. So have a great day, and I will see you soon. And if you haven't already, there's a new video that came out this week. Go ahead and check that out. And spoiler alert, there's probably a video coming out very soon. You guys will actually get to see my nephews, and I'm very excited about that. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.